Denmark plans to significantly increase its military spending in response to the growing Russian threat to Europe and President Trump's calls for allies to contribute more to their own security. This move indicates a shift in transatlantic military dynamics following peace talks regarding Ukraine. According to the plan, Denmark's annual defense budget of $5 billion will receive an additional $7 billion over the next 2 years. This commitment will make Denmark the first European nation outside of Poland and the Baltic states to spend more than 3% of its gross domestic product, GDP, on its military. As members of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, including Denmark, have pledged to allocate at least 2% of GDP to defense, Trump has suggested that this figure should be as high as 5%. The United States spent nearly 3.4% of its GDP on defense last year, according to NATO data. With this announcement, Denmark's spending will rise to 3.2%. Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen emphasized that Denmark is eager to strengthen its military to prevent potential conflict amidst Russian threats. The new funding will enable Copenhagen to purchase advanced weaponry and provide additional military aid to Ukraine, according to Danish officials. Trump, like his predecessors, has long advocated for European countries to increase their defense spending and take responsibility for their security against an increasingly assertive Russia. Copenhagen also faces growing challenges in the Arctic after Trump voiced interest in U.S. ownership of Greenland, a self-governing territory of Denmark. This pledge represents the first significant increase in defense spending announced since the U.S. administration made its position clear. It follows a Danish intelligence report warning that Russia could initiate another major conflict in Europe within 5 years if European militaries remain relatively weak. Greenland serves as a strategic buffer between Russia and North America, yet it is inadequately surveilled and protected due to its vast territory, which is nearly a quarter of the size of the U.S. Earlier in January, Denmark announced plans to allocate $1.9 billion to enhance Greenland's defense capabilities, a separate initiative from Wednesday's announcement. As the U.S. potentially reorients its focus toward the Indo-Pacific region and issues related to China and homeland defense, European countries may need to fill some of the security gaps traditionally covered by American support, according to Giuseppe Spadafora, a research analyst at the European Union Institute for Security Studies. However, Europe's major powers are grappling with internal challenges. Germany is in the midst of an election cycle, which will delay the formation of a stable government for several months. France is led by a fragile minority government following a political crisis that has postponed plans for an increase in military spending. Additionally, Italy and Spain currently spend less than 2% of GDP on defense, while Hungary and Slovakia have pursued appeasement with Russia. The conflict in Ukraine has illustrated that modern warfare requires more than advanced technology. It necessitates a substantial supply of weaponry, ammunition, and troops. European defense industries have faced difficulties in revitalizing their supply chains and recruitment efforts after a period of broad disarmament across the continent following the Cold War.